Hi, and welcome to Rabbit and Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I'll be doing a collective read. Now, for the last week or so, I've done readings, and they've been very, very intense, very straightforward, and I haven't done my tarot intro. I will do my tarot intro today, but it'll be a little bit more brief because I do feel like the residual energy is still kind of hanging about. So if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I am a small channel, but I love reading, and if you like my style, my je ne sais quoi, consider like, sharing, and subscribing. But I also encourage you to listen a little and see how you feel about it. I'm going to put a chapter marker here for those who've been here before. That way you can double tap with your two fingers on your phone to take you to the chapter, to the reading. And for those who have not heard my tarot intro and are intrigued, it is nothing intense, but it is food for thought. So, tarot and oracle are tools for self-reflection. They're meant to help guide you when you're making decisions using your own inner moral compass in pursuit of your own particular brand of happiness. Now, I'm an intuitive reader, so I know the tarot and I'll read the oracles, but more importantly, I get my messages from my ancestors, my guides, and the energies that I work with. That means that even if there's only a certain amount of cards in the deck, my ancestors and guides will pull a card that is the closest approximation to what they're trying to say, and it's up to me to kind of translate, interpret, or channel the message for you. It's up to you to decide whether or not it resonates. Now, resonates means like kind of like a heartstring pluck, like a heartstring pluck moment. I'm trying to find the right term for that, but you would know. It brings you to a person, place, thing, time, experience without any question, without any downtime. You know exactly what it is when I say it. You know, you'll hear it and say, that happened to me last year, or that's happening to me right now, or I've been thinking this, but I haven't told anyone, so how is it ending up in a reading? That's resonating. The thing is, because we're on a public platform like YouTube, and there's thousands of different readers reading thousands of different cards, you know, it is a general message. It's not specific. If something feels like it's resonating deeply with you energetically, then take it and process it and utilize it in the way that works for you. But I'm not telling anybody, you know, this is your future and you can't change it. I'm confirming to those who it's happening to. So if I've seen in other, you know, tarot readings, people get a little head up and they'll be like in the comments, you don't know what you're talking about. The thing is, again, we are, you know, general readers because we're on YouTube. There's thousands of different energies to read. So, you know, if you hear something that kind of like takes you aback and you feel like, oh, I wasn't ready for that to be touched on, I would encourage you to sit in that moment and be like, okay, so if this is a public platform with thousands of different readers reading thousands of different cards and tapping into thousands of different energies, why did I get upset just now? It's hard to deal with our inner world. It is. It's why it's our inner world. We don't show it to anybody else. We keep it inside. And I encourage people to do that shadow work, that inner world. It's not easy, but it is always beneficial and it's freeing. But more importantly, you are the maestro of your own destiny. You have full autonomy and full free will. So you decide how it's going to go. The universe, you know, and destiny and fate, I believe in all of that stuff. But I believe that it only takes you to a point. It can present you with opportunities and possibilities, experiences, and so on and so forth. But you have to decide whether or not you're going to decide to move in that direction, say that thing, advocate for yourself, experience this, allow this, because you are actively writing your own story. So what do you want to write? Anyways, let's get into the pre-shuffle. So I'm just going to pull some cards to kind of see where the collective is at. Okay, so the first card we have is Selenite, Spiritual Activation and Stimulation. This is, let me put my card deck down. This is really interesting because I've always loved selenite as well as moonstone because a rabbit and moon, I am a lunar person. And I love how the selenite to me kind of encapsulates kind of a lunar energy. But specifically for the collective, and I want to point out this reading, in other readings prior, I will say either you are the person that you're talking to, you and the person you're connected to, you and your person. But this isn't that. This reading is for you, collective, for you, the person who's watching this. Not someone you're connected to, not someone that you know. This is for the person who's watching this. I wanted to make that very clear. I had forgotten to say it at the beginning, but my guides just told me, hey, say the thing. So, collective that is watching. We're getting the selenite card because I feel like there is, for those that it resonates, you may have been going through a type of spiritual awakening. And yes, you are watching a tarot reading, so there is a certain level of magic to you kind of already, or spiritual practice to you already. But there's a difference between understanding, respecting, enjoying the practice, the art of channeling and doing tarot, and something different to start experiencing it for yourself. Collective, I really feel that in the last, I don't know, maybe weeks or months, you've been feeling maybe what you would consider, depending on, the words that you use and what you're comfortable with using, but maybe you would say, oh, my gut feeling has been telling me this. I don't know, I'm just getting kind of like a vibe. Maybe you'll say, my intuition has been kind of like popping off lately. This person gives me weird vibes, or this person gives me good vibes, whatever it is. That's not by chance. I feel like this energy is ramping up. I mean, it does say spiritual activation, but I'm really feeling spiritual awakening. So that's the first card in the pre-shuffle. Hold on. Sorry, I have my jewelry on my table as well. Okay, so let's go see what else we have for the next card. Okay, so the next card we have is, oh, almost dropped it, full moon, which is, honestly, it's kind of crazy because the full, oh, hold on. There's a full moon in June on the 11th. Sometimes I can't even believe how I channel. Let me just deal with this card. First off, let me get this card together. I just said how I love selenite kind of reflects kind of a lunar energy. And then here we go and get the full moon, which already in and of itself is a cute little synchronicity, because we're talking about a gemstone. Maybe you have it, maybe you wear it, maybe it's in your house, maybe it's something that you love, but it is representative of spirituality, connection to divine, connection to that spiritual life. So again, you may be having a spiritual or activation or awakening. Maybe you're seeing more synchronicities. Maybe your intuition is pulling on you. But then we have the full moon. The full moon is on June 11th. The full moon is about completion, closing out cycles. Like it says, culmination of I just heard of a storyline. Not really sure why I heard that, but a culmination of a storyline. And if you are a viewer of my channel, you'll know that in the last couple of days, I've posted readings about June. And the dates that I've been given during those readings were June 15th to the 25th, or as early as the 12th and as late as the 29th. The full moon is on the 11th. It's almost as if my guides are trying to say, hey, this spiritual awakening, the spiritual activation is ramping up the closer we get to this full moon. Confirmation to someone in the collective. You would feel it. You'd be like, yes, I've been seeing repeating numbers. Yes, I've been hearing, oh, okay. If this is having to do with romance, you may have allocated a sign or something for your person. So let me just give you an example. I feel like I'm being guided to tell you this. I know someone who has allocated their own signs for their own situation. And their sign is 2 fish or swans. Now, the area in which this person lives, you don't see a whole lot of swans. It's a rustic kind of mountainous area. You don't see a whole lot of swans. And this is the reason why they picked that image, because they said to themselves, hey, if spirit wants to tell me something about my person, whether or not they're healing, they're hurting, we need to separate, we need to come together, whatever the message, I need to know it specifically about my person. So if spirit is going to send me messages about my person, let it be prefaced by 2 swans or 2 fish. Okay? This is what I mean. Signs and synchronicities. So for you, let's just give you another example. Let's say you have a person in mind. Again, this is for you, collective, the person who's reading it. Maybe you've allocated signs for this person. I'm going to give you an example. A pelican. I don't know why I said pelican, but a pelican. And you live someplace that's hot and dry, like a desert. You could live in like Nevada or New Mexico or Southern California. But you picked a pelican because, let's be real. There's probably not a whole lot of pelicans living in the desert. But when you tell spirit, hey, if you have a message for me, show me a pelican. So let's say you're out and about and you go to a bar or whatever, or a music venue, and they start playing that kind of hardcore band Pelican. Sign number 1. At that same bar, the brand of beer that they're serving is Pelican. Sign 2. And maybe later that week, you run into someone on the street you made friends with, you made an acquaintance, and as they're walking away, you notice they have a pelican tattoo. Sign number 3. You see what I'm saying? So signs and synchronicities for you, collective, are starting to ramp up. It could be repeating numbers. It could be signs and symbols like I just outlined. It could be songs. It could be scents. It could be flower. Whatever it is, you've allocated something. I'm feeling that very strongly. You said, hey, if this is about my person, show me a swan, 2 fish, a pelican, a rabbit, a wolf, a tiger. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that specifically because sorry, I'm trying to get my card to come up off my table. I'm saying that specifically because the signs and synchronicities for this intuition I'm hearing it very strongly as signs. Quite literally signs. Things that you are seeing. And with this full moon happening on June 11th, and this feeling of your intuition is ramping up these last couple of months or weeks. It's like you're noticing it more and more. Your intuition's either tapping you on the shoulder, tugging on you to pay attention. You're getting a vibe, you're getting a gut feeling the closer you get to June 11th. There's something powerful happening in June. Like I said, anywhere from the 12th to the 29th, the latter half of June. This is the preparation for it. I feel like for the collective, spirit, your guides, your ancestors, your higher self has been preparing you for this moment. For this chance I'm hearing? Okay. Whoop. Hold on, put that. Okay, so what we have is, I took the 2 that were the closest that hit these rocks. Water and gardening. So water, we have emotions, initiation, rejuvenation, and then gardening, manifesting, planting. Okay. Okay. We have a mini moon. So this, again, it may be you have gemstones in your home. You have it as jewelry. Maybe it was gifted to you. Maybe gemstones in general kind of are like a thing, but more specifically selenite, because it's related to the moon. Because you're going through spiritual activation, spiritual awakening. You're noticing signs and synchronicities. Perhaps you're recognizing that you're dreaming about things. Maybe you're getting that little intuitive voice in your head that's saying like, hey, you should do X, Y, Z before, the end of June. And the full moon is about closing out old cycles, coming to completions. Now we have initiation and manifesting. The spirit is flagging you for something, is trying to prepare you for something. It's spiritually awakening you. It wants you to close out an old storyline. It's initiating you into being more comfortable with your emotions. And I love how we have the moon here, and then we have a setting sun here. You know what I mean? Like lunar energy is soft energy, it's healing energy. And this end of day energy, this kind of like late afternoon energy, also very relaxing, very warm. There's usually a lot of good memories attached to this. I'm hearing and seeing right now like a cookout, like a barbecue, being on a beach or being on the banks of a river as the sun is setting in the late afternoon, and it's warm and it's beautiful and it's amber colored. This image, hold on. This image, if it resonates with you, specifically this late afternoon, this is your intuition and spirit asking you to be more comfortable with your emotion. That's why it's showing you it over a huge body of water. It's not lost on me also that the full moon is next to this be comfortable with your emotion card, because of the moon, with all its healing and its soft glow and gentle light, it is a little mysterious. And so with these things get together, it feels like, collective, you have a lot of feeling, lots of watery energy, right? You have a lot of feeling, but they're kind of a mystery to other people. Like you don't express them as often. I'm channeling this now right now. And this is, again, for the collective, for the person watching this. You have a lot of emotions. Lot of emotions. But they're kind of a mystery to people. Maybe because you don't disclose them. Maybe because you're a very private person. But the spirit is asking you to be comfortable with your emotions, because now it's time to start manifesting what it is that you want from these emotions. This big breath of water is telling me there's something that you want emotionally during this upcoming full moon that you want to bring into fruition. You're closing out an old story, an old narrative. You've spiritually awakened. You're getting signs of your person. Animals, names, music, scents. You're spiritually awakening. You're getting signs. You're being asked to close out old stories, old narratives, old ways of being, completing that version, that chapter of your life, being honest and comfortable with your emotions. You've got a lot of them, and sometimes it's a mystery to people. But, I just see, okay, so I said that I saw the riverbank or a beach, and this kind of late afternoon, warm, relaxed, kind of amber colored energy. I'm hearing that song by, I think it's 311, called Amber is the Color of Your Energy. Take it as it resonates. I'm hearing, you live so far away, your voice rings like a bell anyway. So this feels like a very solitary energy. This feels like this is the energy of emotion, but it's also solitary. It feels alone, it feels alone as in literally alone, or it feels alone as in internally they feel alone with all of this emotion. Whoa, amber is the color of your energy. That might be pertinent for someone. I don't know why. If it's pertinent for you, read the lyrics of that song, because it might have a little nugget of wisdom in there for you. But if we go to your garden, it's also watering your garden. Watering your garden, watering and giving emotion and time and attention to your manifestations, the things that you want, the things that you plant and put in the ground to grow. If you put a seed in the ground and you don't water it, you don't pay attention, it's going to have a harder time growing. If you water it and you give it the resources it needs, then you can reap the benefits. You can, if you're planting a tree, apple tree, orange tree, it grows and you can, reap the apples and oranges to enjoy for forever, however long you take care of that tree. Essentially, what you put in is what you get out. So as a whole, sorry that this pre-shuffle is so in depth, but I mean, collective. You've gone through or going through a spiritual awakening, spiritual activation. You're being asked, you're getting signs, repeating numbers, seeing symbols, hearing names, hearing voices, hearing songs, dreaming. You're being activated for a reason, because Spirit is asking you to close out an old cycle, an old chapter, to get rid of an old narrative. You have a lot of emotions. Sometimes you feel alone, and your emotions are a mystery to people, maybe because you don't let people in, but the universe is asking you to be more comfortable. Start watering your garden. Start putting in resources, time, attention into love, into the seeds that you're planting. Do you want success in your job? Then put forth time and effort and love towards that. Do you want to be with someone particular? Put time and effort and love towards that. Because what you put in is what you get out. Okay? So, come on, cards. My goodness. Okay. All right, so let's put those back in the pile. Okay, so let's continue on this pre-shuffle. Okay, so then we have... Oh, for a second I thought I got the same card again. I was like, I shuffled it. But now we have the new moon and the waxing moon. So inner self and expansion and conception. So the new moon is about new beginning. So we had the full moon, which is about, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. We had the full moon, which is about closing out, completion, ending chapters, ending old narratives, ending old storylines. The new moon is about setting intentions for the new beginning, the new life, the things you want to work towards. What you plant is what you reap, or what you sow, or whatever. But here's the thing. I already shuffled it back into the deck. The full moon that we had before, I said we have a full moon coming June 11th, right? And a new moon after the full moon takes about 2.5 weeks to get there, to become a new moon. Okay? So the full moon, that I wish I would have put the card back in the deck now, because I would have it here. The full moon happens on June 11th. 2.5 weeks later, this new moon happens. Full moon, closing out chapters, old cycles, ending old chapters, starting a new beginning. That time period between the two, the 11th and here, is the same time period that I kept hearing. I heard in the latter part of June, 15th to the 25th, or as early as the 12th and as late as the 29th. The 12th literally is the day after the full moon. 2.5 weeks later, we're at the end of June, where the new moon is. I've been seeing the lunar cycle in my previous reads, and now it's coming out here. So let's get into this. You've been spiritually activated. Okay, that's not a question. That is a confirmation for someone. You've been spiritually activated. You are seeing signs, synchronicities, symbols, names, music, dreams. It's ramping up. Your intuition has been ramping up. It's been a whisper before, and now it's starting to tap you on the shoulder and is trying to get you to pay attention to something. You're being prepared for something. That something is the full moon, which is asking you to close out an old narrative, an old chapter, an old life that is done. That version of you is done. And the new moon is asking you, what seeds do you want to plant in the ground moving forward? Now, in my previous reads, when I talk about this range in June, I'm talking about it being a very powerful catalyst for change, for metamorphosis, for transformation. Like, if you are interested, they're the readings having to do with June. You'll see it in my channel if you're interested. It'll just say June readings or something with the word June in it. I can't remember exactly what I put. But it's such big transformative energy. It's like the universe has opened up a literal portal, a like portal between the full moon and the new moon. In that area, you have time to make a change to your life. And not just a change, not just a change, a metamorphosis, a transformation, a caterpillar to butterfly situation. Like you would no longer be the same person that you were starting. You would be a 2.0 version of yourself. That's how big the change is. That's how impactful the decision would be when you make it. Now, because you have full free will, you can choose to continue walking the path that you're currently walking. You don't have to take this portal, this energetic, like, doorway that's being opened. But the thing is, the universe won't put you to it if it can't see you through it. The universe wouldn't present the opportunity for big change in your life if it didn't think that you were ready for it. June may be in general, June may be a month that is incredibly important to you. It could be a birth month, like this might be your solar return month. In which case, happy birthday to the June babies. It also could be a full calendar year. Maybe something happened a year ago that you noticed, and now it's a full calendar year later, and this activation is happening. Events in your life since last year have been kind of ramping up, and all these changes have been moving and shaping your life to this point that's coming up during this full moon to the new moon. And it could be a pivotal month in your life that maybe happened years ago, maybe not last year, but years ago. There's something important, whether it's a birth month, something happened a year ago, or that June in general, it held an event or time that was important to you. Okay. Let me just say, wow, already. I need to drink water because, just give me a second. Let me get a drink of water. Sorry, I don't normally drink my drinks or water during my reads, but I've been talking so much already. My mouth is parched. Okay, so let's keep going. So we have this new moon energy that's asking the collective, presenting the collective with a basically an energetic moment. Oh my God. So now we have Amethyst, psychic abilities and behavior patterns. With the full moon that we had before, we had a full moon and we had selenite, which was spiritual awakening. Now we have the new moon and psychic abilities. Confirmation. This is not a question. I'm not saying this might happen. I'm saying you are experiencing that right now. You're experiencing the fact that you're recognizing that sometimes you are scarily accurate when you're like, oh, wouldn't it be weird if this happened? And then it does happen. You're scarily accurate when you dream something, or you get like a vibe or gut feeling about someone, or you're trusting your intuition. That is becoming more and more powerful. Again, I said at the beginning, when you were first noticing that your intuition was becoming more strong, it was kind of whispering to you, and now it's tapping your shoulder. Now it's kind of like pulling on you, because the universe is trying to communicate something to you. And that something is this energetic portal between the new moon, or the full moon, and the new moon, or June 12th to June 29th. There is a time where you can make incredible amounts of change in your life. Also, amethyst is the birth stone, because we were talking about solar returns before, but amethyst is the birth stone for February. So you might be dealing with, I'm hearing an Aquarius, maybe a Pisces. I'm hearing Aquarius or Pisces. February birthstone. So it really does feel like Spirit is asking you to close out the narrative. It's your intuition, your psychic ability, your connection to the divine is ramping up. Whether or not it's something that you ascribe to, or something that you're just starting to be curious about, you're just started maybe Googling a little bit. Universe is asking you to allow in or welcome in or to be open to the spiritual awakening while at the same time closing old chapters. I almost feel like it. I don't want to sound too woo-woo, but this is a tarot reading and you are watching a tarot reading. I do feel like during this point in June, that between the full moon and the new moon, or between the 12th and the 29th, that you could change your life so drastically in a positive way if you're ready for it. Okay. So what we got here is, we got two cards. So we've got High Council and Dream Guide. Okay, put my deck down. I have to slide these off my table so I can't pick them up. Okay. High Council and Dream Guide. Evolution, information, potential, and teacher and guardian. I literally was saying the universe is asking you. The universe is presenting you. Your ancestors, your guides, your spiritual guardians are asking you, are you ready for this change? Are you ready, collective, for this change? Because I'm getting very strongly that you've asked for this. And I don't mean it in the way that it might sound like, well, you are asking for it. No, not like that, but quite literally. In a moment of deep reflection and quiet, I said this in my last reading, but in a moment of deep reflection and quiet, you've asked for something, a change, an evolution, a transformation, a metamorphosis. You want to change your job, your life situation, your current situation, your romantic situation. Are you wanting to get out of a disempowering connection, whether it be friends, family, or loved ones? Like, whatever it is, your guides and your ancestors and your guardians were listening. Oops. And I feel like this energetic time period, energetic portal time that it's being opened, your intuition has been popping off because it wants you to recognize the importance of this time period. I'm hearing during this time period, you could really shake some shit up. You could really change things for yourself. There's something about, I just heard the words, wake up, pay attention. This is what I heard just now. Wake up and pay attention. Okay, so yes, I just heard that, but I'm also hearing that's not just from a guides and spiritual guardians, that's from a past loved one. Take it as it resonates. Let's just get into the reading because it's getting kind of intense now. So let me make sure these cards are mixed up pretty good because I don't want to have a false repeat if it's not meant to come out. Okay, there we go. So we have, I just said all of that, and the amethyst card still came out, but we've got moonstone with it. Mystery and intuition, and then we have psychic abilities. Confirmation. I heard wake up and pay attention, and I just shuffled the cards to make sure that I wouldn't have any doubles, and yet here it is. Quite literally, I'm hearing somebody's grandpa is saying, wake up, pay attention, and made this card come up again because it was a confirmation that, no, you're not in like woo-woo, you're not in Delulu land. Your intuition is popping up. Not only because we have another full moon here, but moonstone is a stone in my practice of healing and intuition. And on top of the fact that, for me, moonstone is healing and intuition, the healing part is trying to heal these behavioral patterns. Again, that full moon, completing old narratives, closing out old chapters, closing out old cycles, closing out old negative ways of being, closing out old storylines. old narratives, healing that part. Also, the fact that, again, we have Amethyst out. So, again, you could be dealing with an Aquarius. You could be an Aquarius or Pisces. Also, you might have Moonstone in your home as jewelry, as home decor. Maybe it was gifted to you. Same thing with the Amethyst. These things hold energy in a very specific way. You would know because, it is... if it's your reading, it's your reading, right? Okay, so let's get into tarot. Let's figure out what's going on with this collective, because already it feels very, very strong. Okay. Okay, so then we have the Eight of Winter, which is the Eight of Swords. So it feels like, let me read what it says on the card. It says, you have what it takes. If you only believe in yourself, thinking that you're powerless when you're not, a lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. Again, I'm hearing somebody, I'm hearing a masculine voice come through. Again, it could be a grandpa, but it seems like a family member or a guardian saying, wake up and pay attention. This energy is one of self-doubt, creating a barrier where there doesn't need to be one or isn't one. Like keeping your own self kind of closed in by saying things like, well, I'm not ready. I'm not healed enough. How could I ever fix this? Or how do I ever repair that? Or how would I ever qualify for this? Or just not believing in yourself. Oftentimes when we're trying to pursue something that we want, the biggest barrier to start even the journey of pursuing the thing that we want is ourselves. If we doubt that we deserve it, if we doubt that we're worthy of it, that is the biggest block that we have. And this is what it's telling me right now. That collective, your intuition, you may be, you may be having dreams, you may be seeing signs, you may be seeing repeating numbers, you may be hearing names, you're hearing voices. And voices, I don't mean like in your head, but like people out and about that have a similar voice to someone. Like you would almost think, a person that you know is just around the corner because you hear someone with a similar voice kind of thing. You're experiencing all that, and yet you're doubting that you do have intuition. You're doubting that you do have a connection to the divine or some sacred, magical connection. And if that's true, you are watching a tarot reading, so that means you've already started dabbling in research, in understanding, in respecting, in being curious about what it all means. Maybe you're starting to feel that you are more tied to the divine or spirituality than just cards. And I'm not minimizing reading cards because it is a practice, but it's more than just that. Like you're recognizing, okay, well, maybe it's more than just a tarot reading that I'm interested in. Maybe I'm interested in what this actually all means. Cosmologically, spiritually, soul's journey, soul tribe-wise, that kind of thing. But there is a block. You're putting a block on yourself because I don't know what's blocking. I can't tell what's blocking. It could be a number of things. The things that tend to block us, like right out the gate, are just like childhood wounds and traumas, but also could be, like if we defined ourselves in a certain way, it's hard to see ourselves in any other way. So if we are, I don't know, an athlete of some sort, if we are been, a track runner or a swimmer, right? You've made your identity about that. Like that's how people know you. So-and-so who runs track, so-and-so who's a great swimmer. To dive into another type of life, another type of way to add texture, add layers to yourself of spirituality seems like a really big endeavor, but you're being called to it. You're curious about it, but you're not sure if you're worthy of it. You're not sure if you're healed enough. Maybe this is about connection. Anyways, I do feel like there's this mindset of you holding yourself back. I'm sorry, collective, but it does feel like that. You're holding your own self back. Let's see what else we have. Okay, so then we have the Six of Spring, which is the Six of Wands. And it says, wonderful news is on its way. Smart choices that bring rewards, success, and public recognition. So Six of Wands is about success, about recognition, just like it says. So what's interesting about this particular card coming out is that here we have the collective feeling like they, aren't ready, aren't healed enough, aren't worthy enough, and are creating these blocks as to why, maybe I don't really have these intuitive hits. I'm not really seeing these synchronicities. It's just a coincidence that I said, if this is about my person, let me see a pelican. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're seeing them. You're like, oh, that's just a coincidence. People are seeing a change in you. And I don't mean like a change as in for the worse. I mean, if you're trying to heal, if you're trying to make healthier choices, do things more in line with what you want for yourself, that constitutes your own particular brand of happiness, that fulfills your heart, that makes your soul feel complete, like pursuing healing and fulfillment, people are noticing it. They see the effort that you're making, that you're trying, that you want it. You may not see how far you've come, but they have. And it's interesting. This is, in my own personal life, I keep a journal of the things that I channel, the dreams that I've had, and the ways that I've felt, because it's hard to see how far you've grown if you don't have, like receipts. If you start writing, today, this is how I reacted to this particular synchronicity that I saw, or this particular sign that I saw, or I had this dream and it made me feel sad or happy or anxious, and you write about it, and you write why you feel that way and what it feels like, and then 6 months later you have a similar event happen, a synchronicity, a dream or something, and you write about it. You can see how much you've grown as a person literally by just reading your old entries. It's a really good metric to see how much you've grown. In this right here, it's kind of telling me that you can't see, you can't notice, you haven't noticed how much you've grown, but other people have seen it. Other people have seen it. Okay, so let's keep going. What else do we have? Oh, and that fell on the floor. Okay, so then we have the Hierophant, or in this case, Unity. The Hierophant, I'm sorry, I didn't really show you the card very well. Unity. The Hierophant card in this one says, do the right thing for the right reason. Pardon me. Compare traditional versus new approaches. Which work for you? So, I don't know why I'm equating that to compare your old narrative versus what you actually want. Compare your old chapters, the old life, the full moon that's asking you to complete and close out old cycles, old ways of being, so you can pursue new things. The Hierophant is asking, look at how things were in the past, and now look at how things could be in the future. What is it that you actually want? And what I'm feeling from this is the Hierophant is a very spiritual person, and I'm a little bit floored for how much intuition, psychic ability. This came up twice. We had another card of intuition, spiritual awakening, intuition, psychic powers. Now we have a deeply spiritual major arcana of the Hierophant. The Hierophant represents structure, and I think on a deep level, collective, it may feel like what you crave the most is reliability, a certain type of structure. I'm getting the inclination that collective, your life has a lot of like moving parts. There's a lot to consider, and so you're kind of always moving, shaping, and growing, which is good and it's adaptable. But there's a part of you that craves, that wants a certain level of dependability, of consistency, of structure. Whether this be like a spiritual community, because this is a very spiritual card. The Hierophant also has to do with the structures, like the traditional dependable structures of relationships, like marriage or engagement or domestic bliss, right? So it represents the dependability and the reliability and the consistency and the devotion of higher levels of commitment. Take it as it resonates. But there's something in this collective energy that's making me feel like there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of action and movement happening in your life. And on a deep level, what you really want is peace, a certain level of quiet with a collective, a community, someone you can trust or love or grow with or work with. We'll keep going, but deeply spiritual. Intuition, psychic ability. Psychic ability came up twice. Spiritual awakening. We have a lot of that. And collective, like you doubting yourself, is a little bit wild to me. They have all of this going on, and you're still doubting that you're ready, that you're healed enough, that you're worthy. The universe won't put you to it unless it can see you through it. It wouldn't give you this opportunity, this chance at changing your life in the huge way, in a way that's, in line with your hopes, dreams, and wishes, your own particular brand of happiness. I feel like that's on the menu. You just have to order it. You just have to walk towards it. Again, train tracks. You can either go forward or go to this new path that's opened up for you. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, what do we have? So we have the High Priestess card. Trusting your intuition. Again with the intuition. Collective, I don't know how many cards need to come out to say that you are a highly intuitive person. Psychic abilities, mediumship, synchronicities, whatever it is. You are in tune. You are connected. For some reason you're doubting it, but this says trust your intuition. High Priest, and hello, High Priestess and the Hierophant. These are divine counterparts. This is soulmate energy. This is twin flame energy. A highly spiritual masculine energy and a highly spiritual feminine energy. This is how they are considered divine counterparts. Divinely orchestrated, built for life, mated for life, connected, meant to be. However you want to say it. This represents a union between two people. So now I'm looking at this reading a little bit differently. Let's take it back a second, okay? We have the full moon card come out. The full moon is on the 11th. We have the new moon come out. The new moon is 2.5 weeks after that, right? That's how new moons work after a full moon. Those are the same date ranges of the date ranges I've been getting from the collective, from the 12th to the 29th. In this 2.5 week period, there is an intense, strong energy. It almost feels like an energetic portal is opening up between these two moon phases. That is the ideal time to make decisions based on your own inner moral compass in pursuit of your own particular brand of happiness. What is it that you want? Trust your intuition. Careful reflection, then take action. Insights come through meditation. So what it feels like the High Priestess is asking of you is sit in your own energy. Remove all the expectations of family, of culture, of society, of media, of friendship dynamics. Sit in your energy and meditate. And what is it that your heart and your soul is asking for? What is your end game? What is your end goal? What is your happily ever after? What is your finish line? What is the truest truth that ever truthed? That's what the High Priestess is asking of you. There's so much energy about intuition that I can't help but think, collective, that you already know. You already know, but you're doubting it. Intuition, psychic ability, spiritual awakening. I honestly don't know how much more intuitive, psychic abilities we're going to have for you, collective, until you understand and recognize, accept, and be open to the fact that you are a spiritual and intuitive being. You're likely the type of person that people come to and talk to you about their problems. You don't ask about people's personal lives. They just come and open up to you and talk to you because they feel comfortable in your energy. But I'd hazard a guess that while you hear a lot about other people, they don't know a whole lot about you. Because you keep your emotions inside. Again, that pre-shuffle, you have a lot of emotions. That big body of water with that beautiful solar energy during either what looks like dusk or dawn. Dusk or dawn may be really important to you. Late afternoon sun, that amber color. Amber is the color of your energy. All of that might mean something to you. But again, you are the type of warm individual that makes friends really easy. People feel drawn to you, feel easy and comfortable with you. But not a lot of people know about you, the deep part of you. This 2.5 week period, this mega energy that I'm feeling with this divine counterpart energy, if you haven't already figured it out, or you haven't already kind of sussed it out, I'm going to go ahead and say it. During this 2.5 week period, during June, if you choose to take that path, the newly opened path, the uncharted, untrodden path to the unknown that the universe is asking you, you are walking a path to reunion with your twin flame, with your soulmate. Because again, intuition, psychic ability, spiritual awakening, you likely already know who your soulmate or twin flame is. And if you don't, it's during these 2.5 week times that you will find out who that is. Let's continue forward. Man, this feels major. Okay, we're just going to get a couple more. Okay. Hold on. 6 of Cups. Past love. Past connection. Past romance. Past lives. And then the Star. Hope. Healing. Wants. Dreams. This is Aquarius. Amethyst, we had the birthstone for February is Aquarius. So collective, we may be dealing with an Aquarius. Okay? Past love. And we have soulmate twin flame energy. During this 2-week period, yes, this past love is coming back. It's giving you hope. It's presenting you with hope and possibility and healing and fulfillment of dreams. But it's a path that you have to choose. And I will tell you, just because you choose the path doesn't mean it's an automatic reunion into your twin flame and it's sunshines and rainbows and cupcakes. No, you've picked the path to your reunion. The path to get there, there's probably still some work to do. But you have a distinct choice. Stay in the energy that you're in right now, in the situation that you're in, the job that you're in, the relationship that you're in, the dynamic that you're in, the storylines, the narrative that you're in. You can stay exactly where you are. But the universe is giving you a possibility, an uncharted path, an untrodden path, designed specifically for you. And that path is one in which it leads to your ultimate happiness, healing, hope, fulfillment with the past energy. You know, honestly, I didn't think this reading was going to go this way. I was like, oh, this is about psychic abilities and this is going to be really pivotal. And it is, but it's like you already knew. You already knew what was going on. If this is resonating for you, just like the others, if it's resonating with you, because these all feel super connected, you know, put it in the comments say, yeah, June is important to me. Put a little purple heart if you don't want to put a whole lot of text in. Just let me know if this is resonating with you, because I'm going to tell you, this energy has been riding on my back for the whole week, and my work schedule has changed, so I'm not able to read as often as I want, but it's like I having this energy wanting to come in to read it so I can tell you all. And again, this is not me being like, this is the life that you will lead. No, this is confirmation that if all things are lining up and you're feeling like I'm plucking that heartstring, it feels familiar to you, it feels like it resonates, then it's for you. It's a confirmation. Okay. Okay, so now since we know, it is, sorry, my jewelry's on my table too. Hold on. Since we know it has to do with love and connection, we're going to use some romance cards, and we're going to see what comes out. Hold on. I didn't even get to shuffle it a little. Okay, so the first card comes out we have is separation. Which, I mean, in a sense, when it comes to like twin flames, soulmate energy is not uncommon. You all may be in separation due to living situation. Maybe you all aren't in the same place. Maybe one of you, both of you are in a relationship. Maybe neither of you are in a relationship. Maybe one of you is in a relationship. There is something that is keeping you guys apart. And when now I'm hearing that full moon, that closing of old storylines, closing of old narratives, the end of separation is near. That's what it feels like. You all are separated now. You all are at a distance from each other now, but the time for separation is ending. This is confirmation that you are separated currently, but it's not going to be for long. I feel like there's going to be an energetic or emotional reunion before there is a physical reunion, but regardless, you're on the path. Okay, then we got passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. I mean, there's a crow outside. I don't know if you can hear it. Hold on, let me see if I can. Anyways, I view crows as messengers, so that was confirmation for me that we have a crow cawing outside. So I just heard there's a passion building in my heart. Oh my God, I'm hearing, collective, this is for you, that what is driving you is your passion. Like intuition, you're a little bit like, is that real? Is that true? Am I really connected to the divine? Am I really seeing these signs? Am I really intuitive in that way? That you're questioning. What you're not questioning is your passion for your person. And I'm feeling a little bit of sadness. I feel like you all, I mean, it is divine counterparts. So, like I said, a good portion of you already know who this is, and you're already in separation. So I feel like you all have been feeling, there's a sadness that there is this separation. Whether or not it's twin flames, a soulmate, or divine soulmate. There's passion, but there's a little bit, I'm getting a little twinge of sadness there. I mean, likely because of the separation. Let's keep going, okay? Okay, so then we have very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you. The period between full moon, new moon, that 2.5 week period is an energetic portal where you can jump timelines to where you want to be, making decisions in pursuit of your own particular brand of happiness, using your own inner moral compass. It's asking you to make a decision, because the decision that you make directly affects how your life will unfold from June going forward. And once you make that decision, the things that will unravel from there, how things will unfold, the way things will play out, will start happening pretty soon. I'm surprised. Well, I was going to say, I'm surprised the Chariot card hasn't come out, but, you know, we only got this card just right now. So if I still was doing the tarot portion of this, I would have guessed the Chariot card would come out. Okay, let's get last card. Okay. So we have what it looks like. We have 2. Okay. So this could be the one. You've already met a romantic partner you seek. This right here. Let me move this over a little bit. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Divine counterparts. Twin flames. Divine soulmates. And a love from the past. And the other card was calling in your soulmate? Oh my God. Y'all. I'm not going to tell you what to do. No one's going to tell you how to live your life. Only you can. No card reading, no psychic, no counselors, therapists, psychiatrist, doctor, family member, best friend, bandmate, co-worker. No one can tell you how you're supposed to live your life. You decide how you're going to live your life. You decide what you're going to do with it. But what I'm telling you, collective, is you have a golden opportunity coming to you, being served up on a bedazzled plate, jewel encrusted, golden opportunity to pursue the star energy, your hope, your dreams, your wishes, your ultimate fulfillment. What makes your heart sing? I'm going to get some answer cards because I feel like in the collective there are some burning questions that need to be answered. So I will... Hold on, let me get these cards. Where are they? Oh, here they go. Ow. Let me open up this box. Hold on. Okay. So I'm going to ask the collective a couple of questions. And I want you to, but as I'm shuffling, I want you to focus on the questions you want to ask. And I'm only going to do it for a couple of seconds because, I mean, let's be real. Collective, if you've made it this far, you likely have a question already in your mind. It's not going to take you a whole lot of time to come up with the question that you want to ask. So formulate the first question in your mind. Okay, it's up to you. First one. Okay, second question. Meditation brings answers. This High Priestess card says insights that come through meditation. Okay? It's saying confirmation. Trust your intuition. Take time to sit in your energy. Meditate to find out what it is you want to do, how you want to go about it, what is it that you want, XYZ. Okay. Take the ones that are facing up, which are opportunity, take action, opportunity, or opportunity, take action. Full moon, new moon. I've said it all reading. You know what this is. An opportunity is being afforded to you. Take the action. It's up to you. It's up to you. Meditate to figure out how you want to handle this situation, but there is an opportunity coming. So if you want it, take action. Okay, and then we have trust. The situation will improve. If you're worried about how tumultuous life has been, if you're worried about how things left off between you and your twin flame, if you're worried about whether or not this all is going to pan out, The answer the universe is giving me is trust. The situation will improve. And that is the reading for today. Thank you so much for honestly riding with me these last couple of readings, because they all seem very interconnected to each other. I literally can't make this shit up. The cards come out as they will. And let me also just take the time to say thank you to the collective, because I can't do any of this without you. You all give me the message that channeled through my cards, and I'm just confirming what you all are feeling. For those that it resonates, this is a confirmation. And I appreciate and I feel honored to be able to read this kind of energy for you. Truly. And if you like my style of reading, if you like my je ne sais quoi, please consider sharing, and subscribing, because it helps other people find my little stories. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you at the next reading.